Okay, so I don't know if anyone's seen the previous video. I'll put both of them in this post. But I had this clever idea to take another 3D printed design that is a earbud case, essentially. It's very convenient, by the way. I use them all the time, kind of keeping everything nice and organized. And I was realizing what a perfect design it is. We could do the same thing using wrapping our band set inside of it, and if it was designed correctly, it would be strong enough to actually be a slingshot. So I finished this design. Now this is version 1, obviously, and I do plan on probably making adjustments in the near future. This is an assembly in Onshape, which allows me to manipulate it with different relationships. Now, this is, if you can see, this is how each of the two arms move. The hole you see is where we're going to put a 5mm, an M5 screw. Let me unselect this so we can see it swiveled around. I put a little bit of a gap so I might be able to fit a washer or two in there on either side, potentially. And then when we open it all the way up, let's turn this upside down here. I take this, open it all the way up. It stops where it resists. And then if we select this one, lift this one up, all of a sudden we have a very nice little slingshot design. I actually made those holes on the top portion on purpose, thinking that there might be band attachment methods that I'm not all that familiar with that might be able to use that hole a little easier. But I have a feeling this is going to be very strong. Each of these walls is 4mm thick, and this piece is solid here. I also, one of the modifications I made to the design that the original earbud had is I put this hole here so that you could put a lanyard, so you can use it like a slingshot brace, like a lot of people like to use. And the funny thing is, this folds up to be only about 3 inches long when it's folded up, and that's pretty impressive. And in some ways, I think 6 inches is actually too long. After I built this, I might find that I can actually shrink this down just a smidgen more. I'd like to make it slightly smaller than that. Maybe just just over 5.5 inches. So I'm not going to shrink it too much, but because of the way Onshape works, it's very, very easy for me to manipulate the dimensions of these objects without actually having to redo anything. So I'm really excited. I'll hopefully be able to print this in this weekend. That would be really cool. If this is something you're interested in, I'm hoping to have a video up showing how we can, showing that it actually works. That would be really cool. We'll just have to see at that point whether we can make it work. One thing that I do think is concerning is this area right by where the threading goes through. I am worried it's a little thin, only because I'm going to end up printing this piece along this flat edge here, and which means all the layers are going to go perpendicular, I should say parallel to that. It means that hole could cause splitting at that part, and that's the one area of failure we could see. So there's a couple ways I can alleviate that. One is with materials. I'm going to do this in PLA, which is one of the weakest materials, but when I finally come up with the proper design, I'll put it into PET, which is a much stronger plastic, and then if the adhesion of the layers becomes an issue, I can actually print this in nylon. Once I do that, the layer adhesion of nylon is so insanely good. It's essentially like printing one solid part with no separation of layers, and at that point this thing will be practically indestructible for all intents and purposes, using it the way it's supposed to be. Obviously you can break just about anything, but I think this will work great. We'll just have to see. Anyway, that's the design for this folding slingshot. There's a couple other models, but I really like this one, just for the sake of the fact that you can actually store the band inside the component, so it's nice and organized inside your pocket. So you can pull the whole thing out, set it up really easy, and then go ahead and shoot it, and hopefully not take that much time either. So earbuds, you're going on a trip, wrap it up like earbuds, wrap it up, put it in your pocket, take it anywhere. Easy peasy. And if you're worried about somebody confiscating it, thinking it's a slingshot, just put some earbuds in there, put the band somewhere else, and then you're still good to go. So that's pretty cool. I really like it. I just hope it's as strong as I hope it is. We'll have to test that this weekend. Anyway, have a good one.